Hi everyone and welcome to my presentation. I'll be showing you a selection of photos and videos of track days that Michael and I have had the thrill and pleasure of attending at Goodwood Motor Circuit in our 1965 MG Midget. So sit back, relax and enjoy, and we hope that this will give you an idea of what it's like to drive around this historic and world famous motor circuit. So this is our little Midget. On the surface she looks quite normal, but lurking underneath the bonnet there's a Rover K-series engine which has been tweaked to produce 180 brake horsepower. Other modifications include disc brakes all round, limited slip differential, a 5-speed gearbox and a highly modified suspension, and all this on standard road tyres, which makes for a very lively and demanding drive, especially in the wet. Oh, and there's one other very important modification: she has heated seats. Our Midget was built by the well-known MG specialist Frontline in 2003. We've had her for 4 years, but when we bought her she wasn't in too good a state, but over the years we've, or should I say Michael, has returned her to her former glory. So now on to the track day itself. After sign-on, driver's briefing, bacon butties and noise testing, we're ready to leave the paddock and into the pit lane. MG track days are run in 15-minute sessions which are split into categories depending on your experience. We of course are in the advanced group. Michael and I take it in turns to drive each session, and we usually get about 7 or 8 sessions per day between us. Goodwood operate a traffic light system for entry onto track, giving about 10 seconds between each car leaving the pit, with a maximum of 10 cars allowed on track per session, which gives plenty of track space for each car. Once we have the green light, the marshal signals us to go, go, go. Then it's foot down and onto the circuit. And we're off. Foot flat down as we exit the pit lane and onto the main circuit. Up the gears, first, second, third, fourth, into Madgwick. The first corner, a high-speed bend taken in fourth. There's a slight rise through the bend, so you need to keep the power on all the way through. Exiting Madgwick, it's full power up into fifth, heading towards the next bend, Fordwater, using the whole width of the circuit, ending up on the right-hand side of the track. This is very fast, and if you're brave enough, you don't lift off the throttle. Then it's back over to the left-hand side of the track, and a late dab of the brakes to take No Name Bend. This is where Sterling Moss had his big accident in 1962, ending his career as a racing driver. This is a flowing set of bends, so hit the apex, then back into the centre of the track, then over to the right again to set yourself up for St Mary's. Hug the apex, the only left-hand bend on the circuit, holding it a bit longer to then set yourself up again for a straight blast down to Lavant. Hard on the brakes, then it's down to third as you enter Lavant. Kiss the apex, then over to the left and then to the right, all in a nice smooth curve to maximise your exit speed. As you straighten the wheels, squeeze on the power. Using all the track, straighten out the kink. This is where Bruce McLaren had his fatal accident in 1970, when he lost the rear wing when testing a car destined for the Can-Am series in America. Although we're not driving high-performance cars, the dangers are still ever present when you are pushing your car to its limits. At the end of the Lavant straight, aim directly for the Shell building in Woodcote Corner. Leave the braking as late as possible, down to third. Ignore the first apex to set yourself up for Woodcote. Hit the second apex for a fast exit and full power, braking hard and as late as possible. Still in third, take the chicane using all the runoff to the right-hand side for the exit. Then full power down to the start-finish line for another lap. So now we've shown you the full circuit, here are some close-up shots of us on the track. So here's a photo of Michael coming out of the chicane, and as you can see it's not always necessary to have all 4 tyres actually on the tarmac. And here I am coming out of the chicane. As you can see, I'm making use of all the track and a bit of the grass too. And here I am with an instructor who's hanging on for dear life and has a look of absolute terror on his face. Me, on the other hand, cool as a cucumber. I think he's shouting, "Brake, brake, brake," as we're approaching Lavant, maybe a bit too quickly for his liking. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this insight into driving a track day at Goodwood. MGs on track welcome drivers of all abilities, and it doesn't matter what MG you drive, you can have a really, really great day out with like-minded MG enthusiasts at this superb motor circuit. So it just leaves us to wish you a very Merry Christmas and a happy MG motoring New Year.